So, in this lecture, we are going to talk about a very important topic on number theory, which is Diophantine equation. Diophantine equation. Clear? Acha. A general Diophantine equation is given by the formula ax plus by equals to c. This is a general Diophantine equation, and this is solvable. This is solvable if d divides c when GCD of a and b is d. Clear? So, a Diophantine equation of the general structure ax plus by equals to c is solvable if d divides c, where d is the greatest common divisor of a and b. I guess it's clear. Okay, and basically, what are the general solutions of a Diophantine equation? So if x naught y naught are some particular solution of the Diophantine equation ax plus by equals to c, then the general equation x is given as x naught plus a by d times t, and y is equals to y naught minus b by d times t. I guess it's clear. Okay. Acha. Now what is t? So t is basically an arbitrary integer. T is basically an arbitrary integer. It's clear? Got it? So this is what a general Diophantine equation states. Okay, and this is the condition for some solution to exist. Okay, this is the condition for some solution to exist. Now let us first talk about Diophantine, and then we will be moving on with some other understanding of this sort of equations. Clear? So who was basically Diophantine? Diophantine was basically, he was an Alexandrian mathematician who lived around 250 AD, 260 AD, circa that particular AD. And individually, he hasn't got much, much of fame as a mathematician, except of the fact that he actually had the Arithmetica. What is Arithmetica? Arithmetica is basically the earliest treatise on algebra. Clear? So Diophantine, it is actually told that the greatest work upon which the reputation of Diophantus rests is his Arithmetica. Got it? Arithmetica is said to be the dictionary of algebra, kind of, because at this moment, only 6 copies of it are actually preserved, I guess, out of 13 copies. Okay. In one of the borders of the Arithmetica, only the Fermat's last equation was actually written. Clear? So Arithmetica has got much records. Arithmetica being actually the treatise on algebra, or rather a book mainly concerned about algebra, but it is actually of very heavy importance to number theorists because of certain problems whose theory is actually based on the number theory. Clear? Or the theory of integers. Got it? For example, one of the problems which actually actually indicate that Arithmetica is important for number theory also is the problem which says that find 4 numbers such that the product of any two of them increased by 1 is a square. Clear? Now this problem seems to be that of algebra, but actually it's somewhat related to number theory. Okay. Diophantus had given the solutions 1 over 16, 33 over 16, 68 over 16 and 105 over 16, and these are basically rational solutions, right? Positive rational solutions. While Fermat had given the first 4 numbers which were integers. Okay, these were of Diophantus. Fermat gave 138 and 120, and later another 4 numbers had been discovered which were 3, 8, 21 and 2081. Clear? So these sorts of problems can be found in Arithmetica, which make it a very important book for number theorists too. So as we were talking about Diophantine equation, or rather we were talking about Diophantus as an individual. So as I already told, Diophantus as an individual did not have much of a fame, rather except the fact that his reputation rests in his Arithmetica. Got it? Acha. So now we talk about what is this Diophantus equation. Now why is it called Diophantus equation? Because Diophantine equation rather, because Diophantus was the first mathematician who started researching or started studying these sorts of equations. That's why it is called Diophantine equation. Clear? Acha. So we have already understood what is the basic structure of Diophantine equation, what is the condition for some Diophantine equation to have solutions, and how can we find solution. That is the next thing which we will be talking about now. Clear? Achha, one more thing, I am giving you just an example to understand how can we check the solubility of, solvability. I'm very sorry. Solvability of a Diophantine equation. Suppose you are given this equation, say 3x plus 6y plus 80, equals to 18. This is an equation given to you. Now if you are asked whether this equation is solvable or not, you can easily find the integers 4 and 1. That is 3 times 4 plus 6 times 1 is 18. So it is actually solvable. Okay. If we talk about this equation, 2x plus 10y equals to 17, is it solvable or not? It is never solvable. Now what is the reason behind that? So carefully notice that the LHS is basically 0 mod 2, while the RHS is basically 1 mod 2. So the LHS is even and the RHS is odd, and therefore equality between them can never reside. Got it? This portion is clear, I guess. Okay. Acha. Now let us understand how is these sorts of problems related to Diophantine equation solvable, or rather let us first try and understand the conditions for a Diophantine equation. Okay. So the first condition we are gonna check is that the condition which I told that ax plus by equals to c has a solution if and only if d divides c when GCD of a and b is equals to d. Clear? So let's check. Acha, if GCD of a and b is equals to d, that implies ax naught plus by naught is equals to d. For some x naught y naught belonging to integers, the Bezout's lemma. Clear? Or the linearity, Bezout's lemma rather. Got it? Now if so, then what can we actually get from here? Or rather we can do it, this is actually more precise. Okay, now so ax naught plus by naught is equals to d. Clear? Acha. Okay, so now what we need to actually prove is that this is equal, I mean this sort of a structure will be equal to C if D divides C. Clear? This much is only what we need to talk about, right? Now see, if C is equals to dt, where D is the GCD of A and B. Okay, let us do one thing, remove this if and let this be let. Okay, C is equals to dt. What does this mean? This means that C is equals to Ax naught t plus By naught t. X naught t and Y naught t are still integers. X naught t and Y naught t are still integers. So from here what do we get? So this becomes a Diophantine equation. This becomes a Diophantine equation. Okay, which has the solution? Which has the solution? X naught t and Y naught t. X naught t and Y naught t. Thus clear. So this is one way out. Condition of being sufficient. Now for the necessity. How to prove for the necessity? See, A is equals to dr, B is equals to ds, GCD of R and S will be 1. Clear? Acha. Ax plus By is equals to C. That implies D times Rx plus D times Ry is equals to C. That means D times Rx plus Ry is equals to C. D times Rx plus Ry that equals to C. Now from here what do we get? That means D divides C, because Rx and Ry are belongs to the set of integers. Clear now? Clear now? Both the conditions are proven. Both the conditions are proven. Okay, so this is why for solvability we actually need that particular condition to satisfy. Now we talk about the other particular fact about Diophantine equation, which says that, okay, I'm writing it here. If x naught and y naught are solutions to Ax plus By equals to C, then x is equals to x naught plus A by D times T, y is equals to y naught minus B by D times T. Acha, wait a minute, I have done some mistake here, I guess. Wait a minute, I'm very sorry. There's a mistake here, I'm very sorry. Okay, let me check it in the above also. Okay, I'm very sorry, this will be B and this will be A. I'm sorry. This is a silly mistake. This will be B and this will be A. Clear? It is a not a silly mistake, grave mistake. This will be B and this will be A. Clear? Got it? I'm very sorry. Okay, so this much is clear, I guess. Okay, so let's check out now why is this possible. So let x naught y naught and x dash y dash be pairs of solutions to Ax plus By equals to C. Clear? Okay, now that implies Ax naught plus By naught is equals to Ax dash plus By dash, or we can say Ax dash minus x naught is equals to By dash minus y naught, y naught minus y dash. Clear? This much is clear. Now GCD of A and B is D. Okay, GCD of A and B is D. Now if so, that implies to A is equals to dr and B is equals to ds, where GCD of R and S must be 1. So from here what we can write is that dr x naught x dash minus x naught is equals to ds y naught minus y dash. That implies to we cancel the d's. So from here what do we get? R times x dash minus x naught is equals to s times y naught minus y dash. Now from here what we can have, let's see, since GCD of R and S equals to 1, R divides y naught minus y dash. Clear? Then R will divide y naught minus y dash because R cannot divide S. From here what do we get? From here what do we get? From here we will get that y naught minus y dash is equals to RT. Y naught minus y dash is equals to RT for some t belongs to integer. So from here what we get, that y dash is equals to y naught minus RT, that is y naught minus, now what was R? R was A over D times T. Similarly, S will divide x minus x naught, S will divide x minus x naught because GCD of R and S is 1. From here there we will get that x dash is equals to x naught plus B over D times T. Replacing x dash and y dash with x, that is the general solutions, because x naught and y naught are taken as particular solutions here. From here we get that x is equals to x naught plus B by D over T, y is equals to y naught minus A over D times T. Clear? This portion is clear, I guess. Okay. Acha. Now let's solve a problem on Diophantine equation to finish our lecture. This will be a problem sum which is kind of very much interesting. So carefully notice the problem, that is, a customer bought a dozen pieces of fruits apples and oranges for $1.32. If an apple costs 3 cents more than, 3 cents more than an orange, 3 cents more than an orange, and more apples than oranges were purchased, how many pieces of each kind were bought? Okay, so let me reread this particular question. A customer bought a dozen pieces of fruits, apples and oranges, for $1.32. If an apple costs 3 cents more than an orange and more apples and oranges were purchased, how many pieces of each kind were bought? Okay, so let's check the problem. Acha, so let x be the number of apples, y be the number of oranges, and z be the costs. Costs of each. Clear? Now according to problem, z plus 3 times, or let it be cost of orange. Let this be cost of orange. Okay. So z plus 3 times x plus z times y, z plus 3 times x plus z times y is equals to, we are replacing $1.32 to 132. Clear? Or rather, let us do one more thing, kind of better. Let this be rupees. Clear? Let this be rupees. So we are changing it to paise, 132 paise. Let's see. Okay, so this much is clear, I guess. Let this be 3 paise. let this be 3 paise. Okay, so acha, from here what do we get? From here we get 3x plus x plus y times z is equals to 132. What is x plus y? It is said that we are having a dozen of fruits. That means x plus y is 12. So 3x plus 12z is equals to 132. So we can divide it by 4, or rather we can divide it by 3 only. Sorry, not 4. So we get x plus 4z is equals to 44. Clear? Acha. Now we need to check whether it is solvable or not. Acha, GCD of 1 and 4 is 1. 1 will divide 44. Thus solvable. Thus solvable. Now what we need to do is that we need to bring this structure down to the GCD. We need to bring this structure down to the GCD. Now what we can do is that, see, we can write x is equals to minus 3 and z is equals to 1. This will give us a possible answer. This will give us a possible answer. So we can write that minus 3, clear, minus 3 plus 4 times 1 is equals to plus 1. From here what we can write? From here we can write, or let us do one thing. So this is minus 3 times 1. Clear? This is 4 times 1. Got it? Got it? From here we can write 44 is equals to minus 132 times 1 plus 4 times 44. Now from here what we can write, that x is equals to x naught, that is minus 132 plus, what is the GCD here? GCD here, what will be the GCD? Acha, I'm very sorry, since the GCD is 1, so it becomes b over 1. So what is b here? B is 4. So this becomes 40. And y here becomes 44. Clear? Particular solution is 44 minus, what will it give you actually? Minus t. Because a is 1. Clear? This much is clear. Now where the concept lies is that it is said that the number of apples are greater than the oranges. Okay, so for that to be true, x must be greater than 6 and less than equal to 12. So from here we get 12. Here we have minus 132 plus 40 is greater than 6. From here what do we get? From here what do we get? From here we actually get that, wait a second. From here we actually get that, let us solve this, right? So this becomes, so adding 132 on both sides, we get 144 is greater than equals to 40 is less than 138, right? Is less than 138. So dividing by 4 on both sides, what do we get? So here we get 4 3s are 12 and this is 24, so 4 6 are 24. Here we have 4t, sorry, here we have t now. Here we have t now, and here we have no equality here. Here we have 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16 point something. So we will be getting values of t as 35 and 36. We are getting t as 35 and 36. Clear? So putting t equals to 35, we get one solution. T equals to 36, we get another solution. Clear? So there actually we are having two pairs of solution. Got it? So this is actually how to solve the Diophantine equation. I hope you like the lecture. We will be meeting in the next video.